Welcome to Hack the Entrepreneur, the show which reveals the fears, habits, and inner battles behind big-name entrepreneurs and those on their way to joining them. Now here is your host, John Nastor.
Hey, this is Hack the Entrepreneur. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I am your host, John Nastor, but you can call me Johnny. Now, before we get going, this conversation is fascinating to me. My guest is fascinating, and what we cover is really, really, really valuable, but it's also really cussy and a little more foul than it typically gets. So I want to warn you, if you're not cool with that, you might want to skip it, but if you can stomach it, it's absolutely going to be worth it. All right, let's do it. My guest today is a CEO. He's insanely focused, and he's an absolutely brilliant entrepreneur. He started his career working for some fast-growing startups. Within a few short years, he went from BrickHouse Security onto BabyAge and then on to Bonobos. Almost 5 years ago, though, he co-founded BounceX and has scaled it at an absolutely incredible pace. Now they are running a team of 270 people. This is a fascinating conversation, and I know you're going to dig it. Now, let's hack Ryan Urban. I want to take a moment to thank today's sponsor, Brand24, smart social media monitoring for businesses of all sizes. Whether we are listening or not, people are talking about our businesses. Smart businesses, we listen. With Brand24, social listening is easy and simple. With social search, you can search the web for key topics, trends, or discussions. And with Brand24, you can be automatically analyzing discussions, campaigns, tracking hashtags from Twitter or Instagram, plus saving time, which is what we all need as entrepreneurs. You save time by having all of your mentions from Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, really anywhere online. Imagine all of this in one place. Brand24 enables you to reach customers so you can react and engage quickly to real-time comments made about your company. Find out why over 100,000 companies use Brand24 to monitor the web. Whether you're a one-person business, startup, or a Fortune 500 company, Brand24 helps you discover your digital footprint worldwide. Get started with Brand24 today, absolutely free for 14 days. Go to brand24.com/hack. You'll get a 14-day free trial. Plus, as a Hack the Entrepreneur listener, you're going to get an exclusive 50% off your first 3 months. But you can start free today for 14 days. Go to brand24.com/hack. We are back with another episode of Hack the Entrepreneur. And today we have a very, very, very special guest. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Hey now.
Thanks for joining me, man. This is going to be a lot of fun. I have this feeling. So let's jump into it, shall we?
Is it a tingly feeling?
It kind of is.
Describe the feeling.
It's either too much coffee or just excitement. I'm not sure. Ryan, we have to start here. Can you tell me, as an entrepreneur, what is the one thing that you do that you feel has been the biggest contributor to your successes so far?
I've just got briefed on this question 30 seconds ago. I think my answer right now would be like frustration zero. That's probably my best answer to that, which is kind of almost developing a bloodlust for issues and problems. If you get frustrated on any level, entrepreneurship's not for you. A corporate life's not for you. Almost like nothing, you have to give like negative fucks, I'd say. And about what other people are saying, doing, problems inside your company, problems in other company, people are complaining, issues. It's almost that you're thinking so forward. Hopefully you're thinking, if you get to the point of thinking 1 week forward is really good. If you get to the point of thinking 1 year forward, it's amazing. If you can think 2 years forward in that chess game of business, then you have vision. 2 years, if you can think 2 years into the future, you are ahead of everybody else. Most people don't think 1 hour past the present. So I think the key to everything is frustration zero. If anything throws you off your game, if you're frustrated all by anything, you're not going to accomplish anything.
How far out are you thinking right now?
So let's. I'm asking the left and the right brain. I'm seeing what they respond. They're both malfunctioning. I'd say probably honestly, I probably speak a few years into the future, but I'm probably have that tunnel vision somewhere between 9 and 12 months ahead, and I'm definitely working towards really being in the 2 years from now present. But I think I have done a good job of getting that frustration down to real zero levels, because that's the trickle down effect that you want. If you're a CEO, frustration zero, then the people who report to you train them on that too, so that they don't get frustrated and they look forward to problems. It's like they start licking their chops, like, okay, cool, like this problem came to me, like I know I'm going to solve this. It might take me 6 months to solve this thing, but I know I'm going to solve it. And if you know it's going to get resolved and be better after, then you should be happy about it. You just have to be happy now about what you know you're going to resolve in the future. So, and then keep pushing that downward throughout the org.
Yeah, I like that. And so your BounceX is the business now, the project, right, that you're on?
Yes.
You're the CEO and founder or co-founder, and what size is the company at this point?
I think we're about 270 people. Is that right, Peter? Yeah. So about 270 now. We've been in market about 4.5 years.
Wow. Amazing. So from the 4.5 years, I mean, I love this idea of sort of like thinking forward to 2.5 years if you can, but your job as a CEO and a co-founder of a company that's grown that quickly, reasonably, like how often does your job change?
Well, there's the job that always remains the same, which is building the best, building a world-class team and motivating the team. That job never changes. So that's your number one job, is finding I was at one of the last meetings of the company. This just kind of came top of mind. My grandfather used to always say that he was in sales. He used to always say that there's an ass for every seat. And I was thinking about that. It was funny. And I thought, like, my job is always find the right asses for the right seats. And that's a CEO's job. It's putting the right people in manager positions, leadership positions, whatever it is. It's making sure that those people always are not going through the motions, that they're really, really engaged in the business and they love what they do. They can motivate a team. But so the job of CEO that doesn't change is definitely the right asses for the right seats and motivating the whole company and motivating the people around you. So that doesn't change, but the tactical part of the job should change all the time. And I think if you're a CEO and you have ownership of individual things, then one, you're a bad delegator, or two, you don't have strong enough people that you can give ownership to. So it's only one of those two things. So if I personally own anything, that means I'm either failing as a person or I've failed in hiring the right people who can own that thing. So it just comes back to right asses for the right seats and motivating those people.
So when you say hiring, do you mean that you actually hire? Is that your job, or was it your job?
I think I know it's my job to make sure we not only get the best talent, but the talent level increases over time. So at some point, that was just the thing that I owned myself. But if I owned that now, I'd be failing. I think we have 13 people on our talent team, but that just focus on talent acquisition. Talent acquisition's the game. And if you think about how the U.S. became the best country at some point, it's we started acquiring the best talent around the world. And I'm in New York City, and New York City sucks a lot of the best talent out of other places because it's the best place to be. So how do you make your company New York City or Silicon Valley, where people want to come and kind of proliferate their talents? Like how do you absorb that? So it's make your company the place where it's the best place for them, and then you got to find those people. It can't be an inbound request. The best talent isn't just going to come to you. But I think that's how most CEOs and employers look at it. It's like, oh, we have a whole bunch of people apply. For some jobs, we've actually shut down the job application process. My goal is that we don't allow anyone to apply for jobs. We figure out who's the right profile, and it's almost all referral based. It's like who's phenomenal, and we speak to. And basically, my goal is I'd like to hire 50% of job applicants or 75% of job applicants, which means that, and currently, I think most companies probably hire 0.01%. So it's finding finding out who are the people that are world class and just getting and winning those people. And that's been our philosophy. And we've been getting better and better at that. And that's what keeps people at a company. It's not, if you have a dick boss, you leave. But if you have people around you that are unmotivated and don't give a shit as much as that's why people leave. I think one of the reasons I probably left Bonobos early and started Bounce. I started Bounce before that, but like why I really left my job is I thought there was a few really good employees that they weren't treating the right way. And that like motivated me to get my ass in gear and move a little faster. I probably expedited my process by 6 months by just seeing someone who I thought was great not being treated the way they should have been treated. So that sucks that it's just like that a lot of places. And if you're listening here, and I know a lot of people work at corporations, it's you probably some people haven't been treated great themselves, but it's like if you have someone you think is phenomenal, it's a friend who's not getting that promotion or being talked in a certain way or has a dick boss, that sucks. And that's very, very demotivating. That could be a motivational factor for you to go off and do your own thing or come work at a place like us where we don't tolerate that.
So you have an interesting sort of track record of some fascinating companies you've worked for in different positions and everything before. I mean, coming back to CEO and founder. And so this idea of having the dick boss, the things like learning the things about a CEO or how a company works that you don't like, but did you use that time to actually figure out how companies should also be run?
Truthfully, no, but there's other people inside the company that I thought were great. So there were a few leaders at Bonobos. There was a guy, John Rote, who was really the cultural foundation of the company. When people came in, whether it was a guest of mine or a friend or a new employee, like it didn't matter whether they're partnered in, he was a true leader of the company. Thought he did a phenomenal job. So it's from people you wouldn't expect. And he wasn't a VP. Maybe eventually got moved into some form of VP role, but this wasn't a C-level person or co-founder. It's just one person who gave a shit at the highest level about like, and having empathy for the people working at the company, people coming in, just them getting enjoyment of other people having a good experience. And that's, so it's kind of, it could be learning from an entry level person. It's who really just gives a shit at high levels about the other people around them. I learned from that. And I think you have to have that naturally. Some people are just assholes and they're born that way. And you can make them less of an asshole, but you can't turn them into a really, really good person. So you have to take those really, really good people. And it's also tough. I don't think you can teach someone drive, but you could take someone's driven and demotivate them. So if you have someone really driven and they're not working for you, then you just messed up. I don't think you can turn B players and A players, and I don't think you could teach people to be driven. So you have to kind of find those people who just have that motor, that grit, the kind of new term being thrown around there, and then you just don't fuck it up and give them ownership, give them clear paths, keep their job interesting, keep giving them more and more important stuff to work on if they're good. If someone's great, I don't care if they're 22 or 52, I'm going to give them massive ownership of things. I'm going to overwhelm them. And I think if you're not underwater like 1 week out of the month, then you're not doing enough. You're not moving fast enough. So I love the concept of overwhelming people and getting them to the point underwater for a small, maybe 25% of the time, because that's what gets you moving. And then they come up, and then boom, like as soon as you come up, I'll give you a few weeks, and then I'm going to give you new and better shit to do because you're important and you can handle it. And when you do that, you could be here for 3 or 4 years and it feels like a month. It might also feel like 20 years, but the day will go by fast and you're going to accomplish a lot of stuff. So you take people driven and you push them to be better.
Right. So they have to have drive sort of inherently, because you can't teach that, although you can take the motivation from them. They probably have to be able to deal with this whole frustration zero idea, and they just have to basically not be an asshole.
Right.
And that's your job now, is filtering people out.
If someone's drunk, they can pretend to be sober for like 20 seconds, and someone's an asshole can pretend to be nice for about 30 minutes maybe. But like, yeah, you can't, like, once you put them through the second drunk test, they maybe can walk the line a little bit, but then they fail at reading the alphabet backwards. So it's just keep the assholes out. And you have to be really hard on that policy. And we've been really strong on that. And we've had people who are top sales reps or assholes, and we just bye. Doesn't matter. If you're not treating our clients, prospects, the people on your team, people on other teams, if we're not on the same team, forget it. Goodbye. And I hate internal competition too. Competitive people are great. Having people internally compete with each other is such a dumb idea, and we don't do it.
So you started Bounce when you were still employed.
I started building that technology, when I was employed, kind of testing out different business models and just running. Yeah. So started working on 2010, really started building technology on 2011. It's not everyone, you think about this like minimally viable product and you go kind of fail fast and do things quickly. I was, when finally got out and started Bounce, I think it was in my young 30s. I'd rather to do it right. I like this concept of simple and complete than MVP. It was, once there was one thing that was working really well and complete, that's when it was time to kind of fully leave jobs and get in the market. It wasn't about running into a wall and going as fast as possible. It's once something worked really well and then blowing up around that. So yeah, that was probably mid 2012 that then it was time to scale. Right? I think people kind of scale too quickly, try to raise money too quickly. I don't think we got to true product market fit until we passed $30 million in revenue, which is, and in software revenue, it's a lot of money. But I don't think I think that at that point, that was the first time we kind of unlocked level 1 or level 2. And then we kind of earned the right to really start building out sales and investing a lot more in marketing. But before then, we had a very small sales and marketing org. We weren't going to be driven by just brute force, just the static numbers. Like anyone could raise, if your company's doing well enough, anyone could raise $50 million and spend so much money in sales and marketing and synthetically generate some business. But that's short-term foolishness. And we don't tolerate that here either.
All right, I've got a scenario for you. What would happen to your business if the very next business book you read, or the course you took, or the marketing strategy that you learned on a podcast or on a blog, what if that was executed on? And not just executed on when you have time to get to it, but taken action on day after day. Now, to be clear, I don't want you personally doing this work. I'm urging you, as I have done in the past, I'm urging you to start thinking like the CEO of your business, no matter what the size of your company is at the moment. And as the CEO, I want you to think globally. Let your mind carry you across the ocean to the Philippines. This is where you can hire a virtual assistant who is talented, honest, reliable, and capable of doing thought work for $300 to $800 for full-time work. Anything your business needs to grow can be outsourced. Programmers, graphic designers, social media experts, writers, SEO experts, you name it. You need help with your business, and there are people looking for work today. Start browsing over 250,000 resumes right now, if for nothing else than just to see what's possible for your business. Go to onlinejobs.ph/hack. It's the world's largest and safest marketplace for finding rockstar workers. Once again, that's onlinejobs.ph/hack. How were you acquiring your first customers though? Like how did it, when it started? Because now it seems it's the way you acquire customers to me on the surface seems like the same way that you take applications for team members, which is like, it's almost like you have to apply to be part of either your customer base or work for the team, which is fascinating.
So there's a bit of that, but everything is based on, I'd say, one word, which is reputation. So how do we get people to work at our company that are phenomenal? We built a great reputation that we're an incredible place to work, that you're going to have a meaningful job. It's going to be really hard. This will be the hardest job you ever have, hopefully. If not, we've kind of fucked up. You'll get the opportunity to own shit. So that's kind of important. And then people here if people have a great time here, then they're going to say, hey, like I work with these other incredible people. We should get them here. Or I want to refer my friends. I'm telling my other people I know, and say, if you're a salesperson and you're the top sales rep in another company, it's like, hey, this company's better, has a better product and better culture here, better people to be around. And they're not applying. It's we're building a reputation, and they're coming to us, we're coming to them. Either way, it's more warm referrals. And that's how customer acquisition works that way too. It's if you provide a phenomenal value for marketers, which is us just driving the business, creating a lot more revenue. If we can increase revenue from a mature company by 10 or 15%, or at least 5%, but legitimately, it's like we could take $1 billion business and make it $1.1 billion within a few months. That's meaningful. And you know what? Then marketers are going to talk about you. And when that marketer goes to another company, they're going to bring you with them. They're going to tell the other people they know. It's going to be worth remarking about. That's not how you get your initial customers, though. There has to be some seeding of the process, which to get initial customers, it's hustle your fucking face off. So I had a lot of business cards, and I would invite everyone out to free lunch that I know, try to provide value to marketers, like giving them advice on shit. I was trying to give away my product for free and show that it worked. Then I'm going to charge you a shitload for it, but I'm going to get as many meetings as possible to provide value to only them. And it's just the pitch will come later. It's once I provide enough value, then maybe I can convince you to start using my product in a small way for free. And if I provide enough value there, you can use my product in a bigger way for free. And then once it's providing immense value and it's clear, now I'm going to charge you a fuckload because it's worth it. So I believe in charging a fair price once you're providing incredible value. At the beginning, it was just pure brute hustle, and then have a product that's really interesting and different that works. And then you can start building up a little reputation. And yes, there's some like little growth hacky stuff that you can do. We invented exit intent technology, and we put a little power by signature in the overlay, and that gets you some traffic. But that's just you put a little more wood chips in the kindler. But that's to get your initial clients. It's about like getting intros places, reaching out to your network. Like it's spending time hustling your face off. And I think almost every entrepreneur fails at that. So, but once you have that, then if you have the best product in your industry or something new that's incredible, it has to be incredible, like order of magnitude better than anyone else, then your business will grow. But that's less than 0.1% of companies. So you got to be the 99.9% think their product is incredible and 0.1% it is. Almost everyone's product is shit. Everyone's app is shit. Everyone's software business is shit. It's just they're shit because they're thinking from their own perspective. They're not thinking about the value it creates, and they're so in love with the idea that they had. Everyone's idea is shit. My idea for BounceX was shit. It's once you get in the market, you get punched in the face, and then you got to figure out how to provide value for everybody. Anyone who's built a $10 billion business, there's no luck there. There's zero luck. There's negative luck. Anyone's built a $10 billion business plus from scratch, there's literally there's negative luck. It's just about that person. So, and we were talking at the beginning, it's like, don't ask me about the idea because the idea is so meaningless. It's about how you figuring out who your customer is and how to provide maximum value for that customer. And your perspective is just worthless. So no one cares about your perspective. No one cares about you. How are you benefiting everyone else and benefiting the ecosystem? So that's
really
the main thing.
Understanding that, and then knowing that you need to know that, and then just that frustration zero, and then literally hustle your ass off, like you said. You just have to, right?
Yeah, and then there's like, I've been like noodling on this. Then like once you get a certain point, then it's like, oh, how do you become more productive? And I've been wrestling. Hopefully, everyone is like a founder or just has a great job at a company wrestles with how they could be more productive and how do you what are the low leverage things you're doing, to quote Andy Grove, pre-internet days from the 80s, and how do you replace them with more high leverage things? So really mapping out where you're spending your time. And I've kind of like formulated a little bit of what the low leverage things are. And it's being at a certain level. It's if you're being reactive to anything, and being reactive is answering an email. It's answering it's answering instant message. It's saying yes to a meeting. If you basically are reactive to anything, you're just going to go through the motions of the job and you're going to accomplish nothing. And it's not reactive versus proactive. It's just be reactive zero. So frustration zero is something I think is critical, but reactive zero, spend your time doing zero reactive activities. None. Shut off your email notifications. Literally shut off your email notifications. Think about what's the highest impact things that are on your to-do list, and think about what's going to create that. So that those are the things that you really need to get done in the next 1 week to 30 days. And then think about that 6 months ahead to 12 months ahead. What's the macro impact of the org, and just focus all your time and plan your time around those things and cut out all the noise. So have there's zero-based budgeting where you start with, and this was like a management consulting thing. I wasn't a management consulting, but I kind of like this concept. Not a concept, it works really well. All the PE companies, when they acquire other businesses, they say, okay, we're going to start with zero-based budgeting, which means we're going to assume we're going to start with zero, and then we're going to look at what we're doing, and we're going to see whatever's working. We're going to do more of that, and everything else we're going to stop. most companies do budgeting based on here's what we're doing and here's the stuff we want to add to it. So and I move almost every year, and I love moving because it's really easy for me because I do zero-based moving instead of saying, oh, I have all this furniture, I have all these clothes, I have all these glasses, and what are the things I want to throw away? I decide I start with I'm gonna move with nothing. I'm gonna literally, like, when I move to a new place, I'm gonna start with nothing. And which are the things that I want to keep? And then there's the minimalist thing, which is like, oh, what are the few things in my life that bring me the most joy? And fuck minimalists. How do you go levels deeper to minimalists? So how do you be maximalist? Which is like, I think about, if I'm going to live in a place for say 18 months, I'm going to think about what's going to bring me joy in 6 to 18 months from now. And something could be bringing me joy now, but it's not going to bring me joy in 6 to 18 months. Fuck it, it's gone. Goodbye. Think about the future. So think ahead. Zero-based moving, zero-based budgeting, and start with zero-based activities. Start with saying, literally, I'm going to do nothing, but only focus on elite impact things. And don't, like, what would happen if you just stopped answering email? So I stopped answering text messages, and a lot of people listening here probably don't answer their voicemails anymore. So they apply reactive zero to, they don't answer their phone anymore. I've just taken it like 10 levels deeper. I said, fuck email, fuck instant message. No one's going to text me. I'll have a private WhatsApp area for the people important that have my information. They can hit me up there, but I'm not going to be reactive anymore. So I'm going to figure out the highest leverage, highest things. I'm going to focus all my time around that. And if I own anything, I'm failing as a CEO. So zero-based activities, which is really about being reactive zero. Frustration zero, reactive zero. Don't do anything reactive.
I love it. I freaking love it. It's so blunt and so true. And people are listening and probably like, how the hell does he run a digital agency and he doesn't check email?
No, and it's not a digital agency, but I guess it's software. Yeah. But no, well, it's because I spend my time figuring out who my customer is, what's going to provide the most value to them. That's what I do all day. And if you answer any emails, I used to answer emails so quickly. I used to answer emails in 5 minutes. I'm like, hey, look, I have a well-manicured inbox. My inbox gets down to zero. I'm really productive. Inbox zero kind of person. Inbox zero is bullshit. Fuck inbox zero. Multitasking is bullshit. Inbox zero is bullshit. Answering emails is bullshit.
It's all about the future.
And don't take meetings. And everyone hates meetings, but yet they spend all day in meetings. You know what? I have, like, now, I used to spend all my days in meetings. I'm like, hey, I'm going to limit my meetings 30 minutes. Now I just say no to almost every meeting. I'm going to spend most of my day on high leverage, macro impact shit.
So I see why it was now so hard to get you onto this show. You don't take these things.
No, I think I've done like 3 podcasts ever. And believe me, like my team is like, hey, you, like, this half hour, you don't have to do this. I'm like, you know what? Like, let's have fun and do this.
Nice. It's been good. So yeah. I do want to wrap up on one final question for you that is going to be kind of humorous because of the way you were just like, just look ahead. It's all about the future. Stop looking back. But I've interviewed over 400 people now on this show, and there seems to be this thing within entrepreneurs as dreamers, right? We're always are doing that sort of pushing forward, right? And always looking towards the future, as you say, aiming to get out to 2.5 years ahead.
Dreamers are cheap. Execution is everything. Stop dreaming. Go do shit.
Okay, so you've done a lot of shit though, but rather than just looking forward right now, which we have to do, and you can do that again in 10 minutes. But Ryan, could you like stop and look behind you? Because according to your LinkedIn, you have a crazy resume that's impressive and taking you on some wild things, and now you're building. I literally don't think about my past at all. I'm a weird person. I hate nature. I hate history. I can't even go to like Stonehenge, the Great Canyon, Grand Canyon, even the Coliseum. I hate it. I hate the past. I don't care about my past. I don't care about any past. Like, it's all forward thinking. And the present is frustrating to me because, like, and I forgot who said, I think Tony Robbins actually said this, where it's like you kind of you overestimate what you can accomplish in the short term, which maybe is a year or so, but you really underestimate what you can accomplish over the long term, like a 10-year period. And you think about everyone listening here, like, you could go back. Sam Walton started Walmart in his 40s. Bezos started late. Like, you could do it. You could accomplish a fuckload in a 10-year period. But like, if you're sitting there on your ass, it's never going to happen. So I don't even remember. I don't remember the exact question that you had, but it was about the past. Yeah, fuck the past. Who cares about the past? Get over. I knew that was going to be it.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan. It's been fascinating, man.
The past is dead on arrival. All right.
There we go. So we've got to talk about Bounce in passing. Can you now specifically tell the listener what Bounce is, who it's for, and where to track it down?
Yeah. Well, Bounce is, I mean, as a business, our business is about giving shit at the highest level. So one is like thinking about users on a website and how do you think from things from their perspective? So as we're able to think about things from a visitor or user or people's perspective on a website, they happen to then want to buy things at higher rates and interact more with websites. And then if you can get people to buy at higher rates, then companies will pay you money. So it's always about having that pure empathy for other people. And we have pure empathy for our clients. We have pure empathy for where they're trying to go in a marketing org. And our clients, they need to grow the business. Marketers are responsible for driving the business, sometimes top line, sometimes bottom line, but they got to grow their business. They have to grow the companies they're in. And we provide basically a software enabled channel that is able to grow their business a lot, very clearly in their own analytics. So, and at scale. And our clients are large now, and we moved on market, and we have the liberty of being able to be a premium product and charge a premium rate. And I think our average client size is a few $100,000 a year. And I think probably if we do a follow-up bunch of a year from now, our probably minimum will be 7 figures a year. And for that 7 figures a year, that $1 million or $2 million, we might be providing 20, 30, $40 million in actual new revenue, which is incredible ROI. So that's what it comes down to. And all we do is focus all day about how do we get more scale and provide more clear revenue and value to our clients. So that's really it. And then it trickles up from thinking about things from their customers or their user perspective and what makes sense for them. But one thing I want to say is we're hiring, we're very selective about who we hire, obviously. If you know someone who's a phenomenal talent, doesn't matter if they're in the business development side, an engineer, they're in New York City, we're in New York City. If you know someone who's a phenomenal talent, we're a great place for those people. And we will give them a hard as fuck job to do. And I will overwhelm them 1 week a month.
But you are only hiring in New York City.
We're hiring a few other places. We're definitely looking to hire in our UK office,
okay.
But most of it's going to be New York City. There might be a few exceptions, but generally these are going to be, this is the big time here. So whoever's in New York or wants to come to New York, who's a phenomenal talent, we're a good place.
Very cool. BounceX.com is the website. BounceX.com/careers.
You just go to bounce.nyc. Bounce.nyc will get you to career section.
Excellent.
Yeah, but just Google us. Go read some things about us, and if you're interested, you'll go get a warm intro, or just go find someone who knows someone here, and don't apply. Just go get an intro to somebody. That's easier.
I love it, man. I love it. I will link to those in the show notes for you so you can track them down easily later. But bounce.nyc is the one he mentioned.
Yep.
Ryan, man, thanks so much for finally taking the half hour here to join me and just for sharing so openly. And honestly, man, I appreciate it. Just keep doing what you're doing, man. It's absolutely fascinating to watch.
Cheers.
Come on, tell me that his enthusiasm, his excitement, his just vitality isn't infectious. It is. I know. That was a fun conversation to be part of. I mean, typically, again, we don't get into that much cussiness, but we're all adults here. We can handle it. All right. As much fun as I had in that conversation, this is the part I really am looking forward to. This is the part where I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back and I'm going to find that one thing that Ryan said. You ready for this? All right, let's do it. Let's find the hack.
To get initial customers, it's hustle your fucking face off. So I had a lot of business cards, and I would invite everyone out to free lunch that I know, try to provide value to marketers, like giving them advice on shit. I was trying to give away my product for free and show that it worked. Then I'm going to charge you a shitload for it, but I'm going to get as many meetings as possible to provide value to only them. And it's just the pitch will come later. It's once I provide enough value, then maybe I can convince you to start using my product in a small way for free. And if I provide enough value there, you can use my product in a bigger way for free. And then once it's providing immense value and it's clear, now I'm going to charge you a fuckload because it's worth it.
And that's the hack. Ryan. I love this. I love that you went back for us because where you are with BounceX now isn't this necessarily, but going back to getting those initial customers, which so many of us are doing in new businesses, new products, new services. And it's having that willingness to just hustle your face off. In Ryan's case, it was as many business cards as he could get, as many dinners, as many lunches, and as many people he could sit down in front of and provide value. The same value that his product will in turn provide later, but not pitching the product, pitching and giving the value first, then warming them up with that value and bringing them into a free sample or a free trial of the product. The product should in turn be great, be excellent, which provides more value. And then you can move and charge the price you're worth, right? I love how Ryan, we kind of cover the two things. It's the hustling, the doing things that don't scale at first, to just hustle as the CEO, as the founder, to get out there and get those customers. And then also to, in the end, to make it worth all of that effort, to charge what you're worth. Charge a lot for what you're providing as a product or a service, right? We had Nathan Barry on a couple of weeks ago, CEO and founder of ConvertKit, and he talked about doing things that don't scale too. He was talking about this hustle as the CEO and just getting out there, finding the things that work, the channels that work for you, and just pushing them day after day after day. I absolutely love this. Thank you, Ryan, so much. All right. Well, that was a lot of fun. I told you it would be, didn't I? I did. Yeah. Head over to hacktheentrepreneur.com. I will have Ryan's show notes over there with links to everything we've talked about, including BounceX and his social media, so you can track him down if you would like to follow up with him, as well as the show sponsors. You heard two great sponsors today. If you head over to the site, to their site, or to hacktheentrepreneur.com and find them, it helps so much if you support the sponsors. If you need their products or services, it in turn helps me and the show provide you more and more value. So I would appreciate it. All right, hacktheentrepreneur.com. It's the site. That's the one you need. All right, it's been fun. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do truly appreciate it. And please, until next time, keep hacking the entrepreneur.